Nice and Christmassy.
Very Christmas indeed. So we might just be live. Always have to check. So the first thing that people see is the top of my head. Should put like a bow or something there. So it's prettier. So we should be live. So good evening. This is Debbie Larkin from Kids Around Dogs. And if you follow us, you know that we are an association of professionals who specialize in working with children and dogs to make sure that we can live in harmony together. And we also have a cat library. So books are a very important part of what we do as professionals. And there is a guest that we present every so often. And the guest that we have this evening is someone very special to me because she brought a book that is really perfect for what we do. And it's Tricia Hollingshead. I hope I pronounced it right.
Yeah, spot on, Debbie, spot on.
Brilliant. Hi, Tricia. Thank you so much for being here this evening.
You're very welcome. Thank you for having me. I'm honoured. I so get the work that you're doing, Debbie. It is just magnificent. And your advent calendar has been fabulous.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. So I mentioned before that obviously we are here to talk about your book in particular, but obviously I also want to talk about you. But before we talk about you, I just want to make sure that we all are on board with the book that we're talking about. Is it Listen to Me, which is very ideal title because it talks a lot about listening to our dogs. Our dogs talk to us all the time. So we're going to dive into the book in a second. But Tricia, tell us a little bit about your career. So what do you do and where do you do it?
Well, I do a whole mixture of things. So I have dogs in for home boarding, and I have dogs that I'm doing rehabilitation work. So dogs that need some extra support or some extra understanding. Often it's just assessment and helping the owners understand. And I get referrals from various other behaviourists because there aren't very many of us in the country who will work with tricky dogs and use a completely force-free approach. So I get a lot of referrals from other behaviourists and various organisations. And I do see my own behaviour clients as well. I don't do very much training. I used to do puppy class in the days that we could do puppy classes at the local vets. I've been doing that for over 20 years, invited back every month. But at the moment, I'm just seeing puppies on a one-to-one basis, and I think that's going to be the way it's going to go into the new year, hopefully, as well.
Sounds like it, doesn't it? It sounds like it.
Yeah.
But you're enjoying it, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm really lucky. My puppy clients, I always see first thing in the morning because I don't have to think. I can just do that without being awake.
They wake you up nicely as well.
Completely, absolutely. What a brilliant start to the day.
Yeah, exactly. How can you not be cheered up most of the time by puppies, right?
Absolutely. They always put a smile in your face, don't they? They always chase a leaf or find something so fascinating and interesting.
Yeah. And they're like, wow, the whole world is like,
absolutely. It grounds us. I think puppies ground you and make you smile.
Very true. And where are you based?
We're Gloucestershire, so Forest of Dean area. So I see clients, I have veterinary referrals from Monmouth direction, from Chepstow direction, a lot from Chepstow direction, some from Cheltenham, someone from a vet from Gloucester. So some from Bristol, not so many from Bristol, but now the Severn Bridge tolls are down, that's increasing. So quite a fairly wide range.
Quite a big area for you there. Yeah. So obviously you wrote the book, and what led you to writing a book? Did you wake up one day and go, that's it, that's what I'm going to do today?
No, it wasn't as pretty as that, Debbie. It was born out of frustration. Frustration that when you're talking with your clients, you never have enough time to say everything. And that moment that if the dog's showing any body language, well, we certainly don't want to put them in that situation. But the body language is often so fleeting; it's come and gone, isn't it? And the where, when it was conceived some time ago, there were so few resources around and so few books that you could refer people to. So Turid's amazing book was out, but at that time there weren't, there were so few photos in it. The other great, huge book, of course, Alberg's book, there were just so many photos in there that was a little bit overwhelming. So I felt there was such a need for being able to show my clients, my owners, that this is what it looks like. This is what your dog just did. This is what your dog, have a look and see where your dog is showing these. So it was born out of that frustration and that need, I think. That's very much that was very much the source of it. And I was just lucky. I was so lucky, I think. The time when I thought about I'm going to do this. I really need to do this. And I'd got involved with another colleague who was going to help me. And within a few months of those seeds being sown, I was actually approached by a publisher. And away it went.
Yeah. Well, it was meant to be, clearly.
It was meant to be. It was. That was so much thing I had. So much.
And you mentioned the photos that's Winnie movie. You mentioned the photo and Turid book, which I have, a few body language books, but that was my first dog stuff book. That was the Turid Rugaas book, brilliant on chemistry. That was I think it was a lot of people's first doggy book, wasn't it, I think. And like you said, it explained a lot, but obviously very, very basics in that respect, and not that many pictures to maybe help you with the more in-depth situation, if you like. And then there are books that just overwhelm you with informations, and you go, wow. If you're a complete dog addict, as I am, oh my God, I could live in these books. But they just did, if you like, the dog parents, they might be interested, they should be interested, but there is also a limit to just how far that interest goes, doesn't it?
Yes, absolutely. And I think as well, you've probably seen, I know you've had a look at the book, but I think as well, it's going from the owner's position, from the living with the dog, it's going from there that there was such a gap. There is, and well, when I started off, there certainly wasn't very many books about body language, but even now there are coming more books, but so few books actually tackle the dog in the home environment, and the dog in this situation, and the dog in that situation, daily situations, and I felt that was where our dogs are screaming to be understood. That's where there's so much for us to understand. Every day with our dogs, every day.
One thing as well that I think sometimes is overlooked is the fact that they communicate with each other, but also with us humans, but with objects too. They will, in front of a vacuum cleaner, they might turn their head, because that's how they talk. Like we speak our language, they speak their language. So, and you do need books like this, because just like learning any language, you can't just, look at going, oh, they move the head, that's it, they don't want to know. There might be more to this. You might want to look a bit further than just a couple of signals there. Speaking again of the pictures, I must say the pictures in the book, literally just opening a page, random page. So the pictures in the books here, I hope you can see in the screen, not only are in colors, which I really think it helps, but they are they just explain so much, and then there are obviously descriptions next to them and further description. It's just it really helps to see in graphics what you might be thinking in your head. It really does, it can be a massive help to humans as such. And I'm particularly thinking about parents, obviously being kids around dogs. With children, when they're a little bit older as well, you can really help them to understand, oh, look, this is the body language. but especially when very, very little ones, you know, babies, toddlers, it's a little bit trickier. So it's important for the parents to be educated so that they can really be aware of their dog's feelings around the kids.
And that, you know, that is absolutely what our relationship with our dogs and our relationship with our children should be about. You know, relationships and love is about helping understand each other, isn't it? And unless we understand that the dog is happy or not happy, that relationship is lacking. You know, love isn't about what I want to do to you or what my child wants to do to the dog. Love is about helping my child understand that this isn't loving the dog, that this is how we love the dog, isn't it? And one, absolutely, that differs from dog to dog. But that's what as a parent we have this astonishing gift to give our children. You know, people used to say it was about respect, didn't they? They used to call it, you know, the children, you know, they got a dog because they wanted the child to learn to respect. But actually, it isn't even about respect. It's about love. And I think that's the magic thing. If, as parents, we get that opportunity to help our children understand that love isn't about what you want to do. Love is about what the other person appreciates, likes, and doesn't like. And that's what a magic situation.
It really is, yeah. So beautifully said. Also, when you're thinking that, when you can compare yourself to dogs, can you? Sometimes you see one person, like, you know, even when I go out with a friend of mine, and like on Wednesday, for instance, I'm going to see my best friend for Christmas, you know, the last like gift exchange for Christmas, and I know I'm gonna give her a hug. You know, I won't be able to resist. I'm gonna give her a hug because she's my best friend. I really love her. But if I were to see someone else, and even though I might like them, and you know they're my friend, they're not maybe as special as she is to me. So I will have that relationship with her, but that doesn't mean I will have it with everybody.
Yes, absolutely.
With dogs. So they might go to that person and go, yeah, I will want a hug from you. I will want that contact from you. Doesn't mean I want it from everyone. You know?
Absolutely. And if your friend gave some indication that they were concerned about COVID or something and didn't want that,
of course.
Immediately be sensitive
you
that.
Listen to that and you go, oh, okay, or anything else, and that's for everyone else as well. Say that she changes her mind, go, no, we can't meet up because I am worried about COVID. You know, using these. I understand. You know, I understand. I'm not going to force myself. No, we're going to go. We're going to meet up because I said so. It's not, you know, it's not going to work that way, is it? It would be a bit stockish and weird.
Debbie, I saw the most beautiful illustration today. It was someone's drawing of a cat and a dog giving each other a present, and they were facing each other, and they had the presents hidden behind their back.
Okay.
And the cat had a bone for the dog.
Right.
And the dog had a fish for the cat.
Oh,
and that is just so much. That's what it's about, isn't it? You know, that's what love and relationships are about.
Yeah. And if I think about my dog hiding a fish behind her back, and Mario, my cat, hiding a bone behind her back, I'm thinking, Winnie would eat the fish, and then we go, can I also have the bone? And the cat would be like, yeah, I'm not a great eater, you can have the bone.
I know. I don't think you'd get it as a photo. It was an illustration.
But the sentiment behind that is lovely.
It's magic, isn't it? Just magic. It
really
magic.
is. Really is. Oh, it's so lovely. So beautiful. And I like as well, like when you know, I read the book, obviously, we talk a lot about children, and that's because not only is what CAD is about, but it's important as children are going to be, you know, the adult of tomorrow. So if we're teaching them now, we can prevent accidents from happening, which will make everyone happy at the end of the day. And very often children have difficulty to understand why is it that I can't have the dog? Or why is it that I can't, I don't know, play with the dog's toy? Or why can I not go in the dog's bed? You know, all those things. And they are difficult. There is also, you know, something properly in the mind of the child that is still developing. So they don't understand yet what other people are feeling, because what they're feeling is what the whole world is feeling. So, that's the limitation of a child. And that's, you know, fair enough. But that's why we are here as adults to go, right, this is how you feel, but that doesn't mean that's how others feel. And so I like how you're explaining, you're giving certain situations as well, certain scenarios in your book that can help families, even like the play biting, for example. Things like this could happen in the family to a child, you know, and the child might not understand why the dog is doing it, or you know, how can we stop this in situation like that? So I like that you're considering all sorts of things in your book, not just, you know, not just kind of this is the body language, I see you later. You're going much more in that. You're giving scenarios as well. Are those the situations that you see in your book where they things that you have experienced in your profession as well? Do you work with children?
I originally qualified to teach children with what's called severe learning difficulties and special needs. So I taught special needs kids for nearly 10 years. And then did an MEd in teaching deaf kids, because communication has always been my love. Communication has always been what has fascinated and what I feel is so core to everything. So my experience, and of course, when I was teaching deaf kids at that time, cochlear implants were very rare. Hearing aids were being fitted not until children were 3 or 4 years old. My first teaching post with deaf kids was with the 4 and 5 year olds. So it was a magic time. They were, you know, perfectly intelligent, perfectly cognitively able people, but they had no means of communication, or extremely limited means of communication. So it was extremely exciting. So I think my understanding, and I think through teaching kids with special needs, the whole time you're breaking things down. And oh gosh, an amazing tutor when I was at college said, it's not about what you teach, it's about what's being learned. And I think
that's just really nice. I like that.
Isn't it? That is just so powerful. And I hope that has been a guiding thing for me. It's not about what you teach, it's not about what you deliver, it's what whoever you're teaching takes from it. That's what it's all about.
Indeed.
So, and that, you know, whether that's a young child, like you say, whether that's an infant, a toddler, a child with no communication, a blind child, whatever, that's what it's about, isn't it? What are they going to take from my communicating with them, my time with them?
Yeah, indeed. Also, because as I'm not sure if you know it happens to you, but when I take a course or whatever, you know, the course is whatever long, and I know that I only come up with bits, because the concentration also sometimes goes, right? And it just comes back in, and you for a second you're just thinking, did I add that to the shopping list? Oh no, I'm doing this now. Come back.
We all like that.
And I remember when I was at school, I was always the kid is look out the window. I go, oh, I want to be up there. Dog out. And that and chatting to my classmate, that was always in my report. There was always like Debbie talks a lot.
So I think, you know, I think we're very lucky as trainers. I think the majority of people who are training dogs, they do actually get a lot of what the dog is communicating, which makes it easier for us. And I think we often assume that because we can see it, we often assume that that parents or clients or can see it, and And I don't think I think we need to get away from assuming that and helping them. We need to give them a language that this is what the dog is doing, because that gives them ammunition. I think one of my favorite reviews of the book was a comment by a parent who said it was when the child went to rub the dog and it rolled over on its belly, and the child said that she realized now, after with looking at the book with Mum, she realized now that the dog didn't want to rub, that lie over that belly wasn't a nice one to rub. And I thought, wow, that was my best review.
Well, yeah. I think even if you've had just that one child, you know what I mean? Is that child you go, haha, for the greater of good, even if, as I said, even if you have even just one child is fantastic, isn't it? And to think that, I'm sure you've reached and you're carry on reaching so much more than just that one. But it does, you go, oh my gosh, it's working. I know,
absolutely. Yeah. It's when you come across and somebody quotes your book and you think, oh my goodness me.
That's where you go, done it. It's me. It's my book.
We get out there.
So is there a favorite part of the book that when you were writing and go, oh, I'm getting a bit more excited about this bit?
I think probably that the chapter on to love and be loved, which I think is probably the one that you referred to most, that was massively my heart in that chapter. And I think the other chapter about being misunderstood, I'm going to have to check the title of it now. But the unintended consequences. I think
that is so spooky, because I was there.
I think that's probably the other chapter where I feel where my heart belongs, because I feel the owners we're working with, as I do public class, I see clients with behaviour issues, and they've come because they love their dog. They come because they want to understand their dog, and it's not that they've intended to fuel some of these issues, or it's not that they've intended to choose a dog or put it in those situations. And I think that's a big part of my heart as well, is knowing that isn't where people don't intend to do these things. They don't intend to put the dog in these situations. They don't intend for their dog to be scared, or they don't intend for their dog to become aggressive. They're not intending to threaten or frighten their dog, but that's what then happens. That's what's happening. They don't intend to have a dog that's demanding their attention all the time can't cope when they're doing something with the kids. That's not people's intention. And I think understanding, I wanted very much to share that understanding as well.
I think spot on that, because I always think, if a client calls me, goes to the trouble of speaking to me and even admitting, even coming through, go, well, my dog has these and these issues. It's a massive thing, for a lot of people. And they take the time to call me, to come to me, to do the visits, to do their work and everything. That can, even just that first phone call, that tells me that they care for their dog. And whatever is happening, they, as you said, they had no intention. They simply didn't know that certain action would have led to certain problems. And they don't know how to solve it. That's why obviously they go to a professional. But I have a lot of respect for all of my clients, for all the clients of in our profession, because they are they love their dogs. They just they don't know what they don't know. And
absolutely. And they're seeking to make it better.
Exactly. There was something else I also wanted to ask. You have a collie, right?
I have a collie and a Dalmatian and a very hairy mutt. So we have a mixture of dogs. So the collie on the front cover of the book is my collie, but she's dead nearly 15 years now. So she's long gone.
But you still honor in the book. I love that.
Yeah. Well, it was a fab photo, and it's just a sort of cheeky photo, isn't it? You know, and I think
I love it.
Yeah. She's got a head.
Where did you get all your photos from your book? Because there is a lot of photos, and as we know, it's not easy to get hold of that many photos of all the positions that you need. So how did you come about all these photos?
Well, it was a whole mixture of things, really. So some of them are stock library photographs. And that took hours and hours and hours. And anybody who knows who's looking for photographs, you know, I'm sure you find it looking for photographs for CAD as well. It is so hard to find the photograph that you want, and you can spend hours and you will get that photo, but it can take hours. So there was some of those were in some of the photographs that are used, stock library photographs. Some of the photographs that are used were ones that the photographer of the publisher, that she had been out to see various dogs and she clicked away, and I begged her to go back through all her rubbish photographs that she had discarded because it didn't, you know, because things weren't looking as pretty, because actually those are the most useful photographs for us, aren't they? They're not so pretty photographs, the photographs that we discard for the family album, because hopefully we discard them because the dog doesn't look so comfortable or happy. But those are the valuable photographs for us. And that was one source. So my dad had taken photographs, a few photographs of one particular family dog who had appeared in there. The photographer also went out to some of my clients before I got to see them. That they weren't supposed to be setting the situation up, but we all know what clients like, and they want to show you. There was a little bit of
a lot of them are very natural, that's what you want to see the most.
It was the non-pose photographs, and then there were then we had a day where people were practicing to do kennel club and various tests, and we did that all outside, so that gave us another source of photographs. So quite from a lot of different sources, but the photographs are so hard to source. And I think that that's why it's so hard for trainers and people to deliver it as a curriculum, because there's such a lack of easily accessible photos.
Exactly. And that leads us to something that you are working on. Is a massive project. So why don't you tell us a little bit about this project?
Well, we're in the process. Instead of writing another book, I had now that was very definitely, I woke up one morning and thought, oh my gosh, it's not another book that's needed. It's actually photographs, so that people like CAD, so that trainers can easily access, easily share photographs, so that everybody, so the world is my dream, isn't it? So that the world can understand what dogs are saying, and so they can read them more easily because they've seen this in photographs and eventually videos. So the project is creating a dog body language library, photographic library, that will work like a stock library, and anybody can access those photos, go through photographs. We're dividing them into 3 different areas, so you can access them by context. So you might want to look at children and dogs, or you can access them by emotion. So you might want to look at excited, or you might want to look at fearful, or you can access them by body language. So you might want to look at ears back, or tight lip, or something like that. So you can access them in different or all of those directions. So it's a massive project, and we are absolutely hoping that we'll have lots of contributors. We've had an unbelievable sign up from trainers and behaviourists and vets wanting to help us out, help with the body language tagging. We've asked for body language experts to help us with tagging, and people who have photographs, particularly the collection of photographs, to consider donating them. So we are on the way.
And as you know, we chatted about this, and obviously I'm more than happy to contribute and help, because I think it's really super important, super useful for us professional, for non-professional, for the kids now and also the future veterinary. It's so important. So absolutely. I applaud this idea, and I am looking forward to it.
Thank you. Yeah, well, I think it's it's not, we often, I think as trainers, you often talk about body language, or as behaviourists we talk about body language, or at veterinary school they now do a little bit more about behaviour and body language. But unless you've got the visual resources,
it's so limited, isn't it?
It's so hard. It's so hard unless you've already seen it. It's so hard.
Indeed, it literally is. If I can compare it to humans, because sometimes it's easier to compare to something. It's literally like learning a language without ever speaking it or going to that country and actually practicing it. If you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think I can speak for dogs in that respect, because I learned English, right? A very long time, but I had to learn English. I wanted to learn English anyway, but and at first I looked at some books, and then that did nothing. Like literally I learned nothing. And I then moved to England, went to school and learned. And if I hadn't, I really don't think I would have ever learned. So in the books, it's all good to have look a few words, but you never get to certain level.
And it's a visual language, and that's it is a visual language, and it can't be, you can describe a tongue flick or a lip flick.
I can tell you tongue flick, but
but until you see it, and until you see the context that happens in, you can't see it. You need to know, you need to see. It's a visual language. It needs to be depicted visually. It only can be depicted visually. When I was teaching deaf kids, there was a fabulous encyclopedia of the different signs in sort of drawn form. But wow, that was hard.
I'm sure. Gosh, I can't even imagine actually.
That's right. But in use, when you see the context and you see the dog doing that, then your eye is tuned in, then your brain is tuned in, isn't it? To
there is that light where you go, oh my gosh, I've just noticed that.
Yes.
It's beautiful that. I love that. What I also like to do, and that you might do it too, that could be a suggestion for others, I like to film certain situations and then slow the film down, so I have more time to go, oh, look at that, look what I missed. We all miss it because it's so quick sometimes. So you go, oh gosh, I missed that. And I look at the video and I can slow it down and go, oh my gosh, I missed so many things, because the situation is fast. Maybe also you're talking to someone as well, so you're distracted. There is a lot of factors that can contribute in being distracted. Or if you are talking to the dog, if you know what I mean, and you're like face to face, you might miss some part of the body too. So
absolutely. I know when I'm doing dog to dog, because I do a lot of dog aggression work, dog to dog aggression work, and I know so often that moment where we actually get around to doing the meeting, and I know by the time I've said what's going on, it's gone. But to be able to have that on video and share that back with the owners is gold, just gold, pure gold.
And we live in a times now where filming is the easiest thing in the world, isn't it? Literally, we have every single gadget that we have can film something of 1,000 photos. So it's we are lucky in that respect, aren't we?
Yeah, absolutely.
So then you hope for let's say maybe the beginning of spring, end of winter, to have the website running? you reckon?
Yeah, we're hoping it's going to be up for those who have signed up to give us a hand. We're hoping that we're going to have a version that they can have a look at with us and try a few things out for us. And then we hope the spring is going to spring into photographic action. Yeah.
Awesome. If you were to need some more volunteers, some more images, how can they reach you to send you stuff?
Well, at the moment, I'll put a link in below, but at the moment they can go onto our first page website. So it's just explaining what we're up to, and anybody who would like to register because they think they might have some photos that they could donate, or who thinks they might have some body language, if they've done a body language course or something, if they feel they have some expertise to help us do the tagging, please come and register on that website, and we'll be making use of you very soon. That would be amazing. Thank you.
That's
Yeah,
fantastic.
and there would be parents, there'll be parents in this group who will have fabulous photos, and we need the lovely photos as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
we need the photos of children enjoying their dogs, and the dogs enjoying the children, just as much as we need photographs of dogs feeling a little bit compromised in the presence of children or the presence of adults. Both are valuable, because without seeing both sides of it, it's hard.
I think we might have discussed this on the first time we talked online with each other, how very often you just see negative things, but you also need to see positive things. So it doesn't mean that dogs are just stressed out all the time.
Yes.
It's not always like that. So it's important to show both sides of so you know how to spot them as well. Okay, I know when he's sad. What do I do?
Yeah.
How do I know when he's ever happy?
Yeah, absolutely. And it is important to know that one dog may feel very compromised by being hugged, and another dog may feel completely comfortable about it. That's extremely important, that we know enough that we can respond to our dog as an individual. And help our children see these dogs as individuals and see what they're saying. And the more we can see what they're saying, the more we can be spot on, be appropriate. That's the core. It's the beginning and the end of everything.
It really is. So I know you have the website coming. Any other project that you like to share with us?
No, I've got enough on my
I think you got your hands full.
No.
So tell me something. Is it true that this Christmas everyone is getting a copy of your book? Everybody.
Yes, they certainly are. They certainly are, and I can tell
that's
you.
For my cousin. That's
yes.
the neighbor.
Yeah. And is now the right time, Debbie, to say that if they actually go on to, I'll put the link below this, but if they actually go to Performance Dog, anybody via CAD can take up the offer of having the book for $14.99 as opposed to $19.99. So that's £5 off. So if you buy 4 books, that means you actually get 1 free.
Well, that's really good. So how do they give you a code to have the £5 off?
No, they're just going to put all of the books out, and it's just now through Performance Dog. Performance Dogs, it's now the $14.99.
Awesome.
So order away, buy yourself 4 and have 1 free, all for yourself.
That sounds fantastic. Thank you so much. That was a brilliant offer.
That's right. It's the publishers.
Well, it's your book. But thank you to the publisher. So who's the publisher? Actually, I didn't even look, did I? Oh yeah, it's First Stone Publishing.
First Publishing. So they do quite a lot of dog books. Yeah, various sorts of dog books. So I do have an offer for your parents as well, for the parents who are on here. So the book, when it was printed, didn't have the title, the subtitle that was In My Heart. So it has now got the subtitle that's In My Heart. So the first parent that gets to spot the new subtitle and lets me know either on here or on Messenger, a free copy is for you.
Oh,
So,
did you hear that? So if you're the first one to write in our comments the super duper subtitle that Tricia didn't get to have printed with the first few copies, write it in the comment, and the first one will get a free book, free listen to me book. Oh, thank you so much for this amazing gift.
That's just for the parents.
Just for the parents. Yeah. But in the comment, they can write the subtitle and the first one.
Yeah, if they have spotted what the difference is, the book is theirs. Or well, the first person.
yeah. From the first. Yeah. Brilliant. Thank you so much. Now I have a question for you that I like to ask all of our authors, because I'm literally a book addict as well as a dog addict. Do you have a favorite book or a favorite author? It doesn't have to be in the dog world, it can be any kind of book. But do you have a favorite one?
Well, I knew you were going to ask this question. And there are 3 books that I couldn't decide between. And I think the first one has to be Culture Clash by Jean Donaldson.
I got that.
That it's long out now, but that was a book that when I read it, I couldn't put it down. It just is phenomenal, isn't it? It just says so much. And I think the one of the other ones that in recent years has meant so much to me is so much about understanding the dog for who he is and what he is.
Oh my gosh, Alexandra,
inside of a dog, Alexandra Horowitz, and that's amazing as well. And understanding the biology of the dog in a way again that applies to what your dog does day in, day out. That was a beautiful book as well, and it's just so easy to dip.
She writes very well, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. And superb to dip in.
Very fluid. Yeah, she's really good.
But I have to say my third one as well, because I can't leave that one out as well, is Kim Brophy's Meet Your Dog.
Oh my gosh, I've got that one here as well. Oh,
yeah, and
you did say you probably know them all.
And that is just magic as well. But for understanding what it is that makes the genetic makeup of your dog, which is why he behaves like he does, and that's just magic too. So really I couldn't choose between those 3. They're just 3 potentially
3 awesome books.
3 awesome books.
Yeah, you really have. Yeah.
Absolutely. Sorry,
I agree on all of them. I love them.
Yeah.
Super.
Yeah, Turid has been a massive, huge influence on me,
You studied with her as well, didn't you?
Well, I shadowed her for a week, and then I did she had me involved. I was on a course and also took a little tiny bit of that course as well. So yeah, I've spent a lot of time with Turid. She's and I think she's actually coming back into the fore again. I think the stuff that she was saying 20, 30 years ago that was, I wouldn't say, well, by some quarters was poo-pooed. That absolutely, isn't it? That's coming, it's all coming to fruition now. And I think, Turid was saying this 20 years ago. Yeah, Turid was saying that. Yeah, Turid was saying that. So.
Like I said, her book was literally the first book that was recommended to me, in fact, at the time. And so, look, you got to read this book. Just read this book, you'll be all right. And gosh, they were right, because it was such a great first step to go, I want to know more. And she's brilliant, and the way she also introduces you to the dog world as well is is so easy. It makes sense, doesn't it? It makes sense. You go,
totally.
And I have never met her in person or online. I would love to chat to her. I might send her a message. Hi, I'm a fan. Like a teenager. I'm not into one direction.
Yeah. She's like any very famous person. She has very definite views, without any flexibility or tolerance. But wow, amazing what she has done for the dog world. You know, before Turid came on the scenes, in any of the academic books, any of the books you found, there would be, if you were lucky in some of the books, a sentence about wolves showing submissive behavior, or wolves turning their heads, or wolves doing a lip flick, and that would be it. That was it. That was the only attention that was paid. Turid did amazing things for the world of dogs. She transformed life for dogs on earth. She really did.
And for us as well, you know, directly, because a lot of humans, whether they're professionals or not, have dogs, or they will eventually share their life with a dog, even if you don't live with one. At one point, you're going to go and visit someone who has a dog, or you're going to go to a restaurant, there is someone with a dog in there, or one of your friends will get a dog, or whatever. If you work in a school, there are a lot of school dogs. So at some point, whether you have a dog or not, your life will get somehow entangled with one.
Yes, so that's right. Absolutely.
Might as well know what to do, right? Might as well know how to communicate with these beautiful animals. But you know, I know that Turid is quite, you know, it's quite direct, but being Swiss myself, I think I'll be all right. I know she's
amazing. She's amazing, and she's been so supportive. She did the most amazing preview for my book. A beautiful forward for the book. I was really chuffed about that, and she's helped us with the dog body language as well, thrashing out what emotions we should include. She's been a great support in just thrashing that around. She's so generous. She is so generous.
I think we're very lucky. From what I understand of her, like I said, without knowing her, I think it's because she's very, very passionate about this. So it's not just a job; that's her life. And she is bringing so much to our community, to dogs, to humans. So I was also very impressed with what she brought about your book and about you. So really nice.
Yes, I was chuffed. I was
chuffed as well. But it makes you think, oh, that's nice.
Because when I asked her would she do the forward, and we sent her a copy of the book, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, she might not like that bit, or she might not like that bit. And maybe then she would do a review, and she won't do the forward.
When she sent you the email, you probably went, oh my God, do I want to open it? Do I know what she brought? Oh, no, it's fantastic and absolutely well deserved. So again, the book is Listen to Me, and you can find it also on Amazon, or through the publishers for Stone Publishing. So
through Fulfillment Dogs,
Yes. So Tricia, you'll put the link as well on the comments when you. Thank you. Tricia, thank you so much for chatting to me this evening. I always love talking to you. You're so lovely. And well done for the book. And I can't wait to get my hands on the website to send you stuff as well. And
thank you.
And once the website also is on officially, we're going to have you back on so that we can talk about it and show you off a little bit, shall we?
Be lovely. That'd be lovely. We'll then really ask, and we'll then really start begging them. Once we've got that one ready, we will really be begging.
Don't worry, you don't need begging with me. You're right. Just to be mean.
Thank you so much, Debbie.
Thank you so much, Tricia. It's been so lovely talking to you again, and I wish you a wonderful Christmas.
Yes, and the same to you.
Thank you.
And everybody, all the parents and trainers who are watching, and all the kids. And the kids, absolutely. And just watch out for those dogs.
Exactly, yes. And you better keep your Christmas presents away from them, And when you leave that mince pie for Santa up high, away from the dogs.
Yes. Absolutely. no quality streets. I remember many years ago, a book, Quality Streets, got consumed by accidentally consumed by a collie Labrador cross we had at the time. But the nice thing was, when we went to pick up the poos the day after, they were all beautiful colours.
Thanks for this. Thank you so much. Now there is that visual that I do not need a photo for. Did you take a photo though?
No, that was too long ago, Debbie. I was I was a teenager at the time.
Oh my gosh. So thank you so much for this beautiful image that is now in my head forever. But yeah, stay away. Actually, leave the quality street for the parents, for your parents. But not for Santa or for the dog. Just leave it for the parents. They'll be much more grateful.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you again. Have a lovely evening, and we'll see you soon.
And the same to you. Thank you so much, Debbie, for having me. Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye.